Hello everyone, this is Mr. Moosehead. I'm going to be running through the Task Force K mod in its entirety. I'm going to be showing off the units, vehicles, weapons, and objects that come with the mod. Firstly, I'll be running through all the different infantry units with their various uniform patterns and setups so you can find the editor or Zeus. Secondly, I'll be showing off the vehicles that are available right now, such as the LAV 6 and Bell CH-146 Griffin. And lastly, I'll be running through the pieces of kit and ace arsenal such as uniforms, vests, and weapons. And with that, let's start with infantry units. Okay, first from the list we have the C6 gunner. The C6 is basically an M240 or an M240 Bravo, I believe, maybe the M240G. Either way, it's an M240 variant made by Colt Canada. Fire 7.62. The unit is spawned with the sword vest, which is one of the newer load-bearing type vests that Canada's starting to issue. It goes over top the ballistics vest or the frag vest, and by no means is it ballistic worthy. It's mainly just for loading ammo and equipment on. All basic infantry units spawn with a CG-634 helmet, which is a standard issue helmet for the Canadian Armed Forces, namely the Army. If you ever see them with a helmet that looks, similar to that, and have it not be a fast helmet or a boonie cap, it would be the CG-634 helmet. And as shown here, all units that will be shown have the CADPAT TW, which is this version, the prototype J, or the CADPAT prototype J, which was a prototype pattern that it was being tested and is still being tested a little bit, but from what I've heard, they're actually not going to be using this pattern. They're going to be using another one that I don't think they've shown yet. It's CADPAT multicam or something, or multicam CADPAT or something. I forget what they're calling that one, but that's almost basically what this is like. It's very much multicam-esque. We've got the Arid. All these uniforms being shown are in the OTW on the left, or outside the wire shirt, as well as the tunic variant on the right here. So the patterns are very, very similar, but also different, as the OTW variant is literally an over-the-wire shirt where it has the thin material in the middle of the shirt, or the stretchy material, rather than a tunic, which looks more like this variant right there, where it's a full uniform. All the patterns and all the units have over-the-wire variants as well as tunics. Almost all units, as you can see here, have winter variants. They have a mixed version, which is usually temperate woodland CADPAT, as well as the winter CADPAT, which is more or less what you see the Army guys usually wearing anyways, because they don't really, I don't think, have a lot of winter CADPAT, which is kind of funny because we're Canada, but either way. Moving on to the C9 gunner. The C9 gunner uses a C9A2 light machine gun made by Colt Canada. This unit uses a sword vest, the CG-634 helmet, as well as all the different variations of camo. Prototype J, Arid, winter versions. Now on to the combat engineer. The combat engineer is very similar to the rifleman unit that you can spawn in terms of looks. I'm pretty sure the kit that they have in their vest is probably different. The combat engineer unit spawns with the fishing vest, or which is mostly called, in the Army it's the load bearing vest, but it's known as a fishing vest because it's very similar to one. This unit also has each and every other camouflage pattern. J, Arid, and winter. Now moving on to the crewman. The crewman is very similar to the rifleman, although they spawn with the C8A3, which is the carbine variant of the C7A2. They're spawned with the fishing vest, as well as all these different variations of the camouflage. J, Arid, and winter. Now, moving on to the marksman. The marksman seems pretty basic in terms of spawn kit. So he spawns with just a sword vest and no ballistics vest. So no ballistics protection really. A boonie cap in each and every camo that it spawns with for the unit. As well as a C7A2 without the C7A9 optic. So the marksman spawns with an iron sight and no laser as well on the weapon. I'm pretty sure in the future they're going to change the rifle to a C20 marksman rifle or Timberwolf. This unit also has all its different camo variations, as can be seen here. J, Arid, Winter. Now moving on to the med tech or the medical tech. They spawn with the C7A2, a sword, a medical bag. There's others in the mod, as well as all the different camo variations. TW, J, Arid, and Winter. Moving on to the officer unit. The officer unit spawns with a sword vest, as well as the Browning high power on his chest in a pistol mount. Nothing much too different about this one. As you can see, the sword is over top of the ballistics and frags vest, so it's got ballistics. They've got ballistics protection for sure. And this is also in all the different variations, CAD pat and camouflages that are available. Now moving over to the paratrooper. So the paratrooper spawns with basic rifleman kit with an added parachute. Again, on all different variations of camo. Nothing too special about this one other than the parachute. This is the basic rifleman kit, as shown with the combat engineer and the crewman basically. Same rifleman kit. They spawn with the CG634 helmet, fishing vest, and the C7A2, the C79 optic. All different variations of camo, J, Arid, Winter. This is the rifleman Carl G, so the rifleman with the Carl Gustav launcher. It's a basic rifleman kit, just with a Carl Gustav added. Now moving on to which I believe is the Rifleman Light. Yep. So this is basically very much similar to a recce troop, or a recce trooper. So he's got no frag vest, he's got just the sword vest, so he's wearing light kit. He's got the boonie cap. And this is just a basic rifleman kit, just with the vest, with the frag vest and the helmet. Just for lighter use and reconnaissance. Now moving on to the Grenadier kit. Again, very similar to the Rifleman kit, although these units use that M203 40mm grenade launcher with the grenade sight on the side. Nothing too crazy, just a M203 added on. It's a very basic Grenadier kit for Grenadier and Arma. This is the Rifleman with the M72. Basic Rifleman kit just with an M72 disposable launcher, in case you want to have units that have M72s for light anti-tank capability. Again, these are all on different variations. Now moving on to the 2IC. This is the 2IC kit that you can spawn in with the units. So very much like the officer, he has a Browning high power on his chest, on his sword vest. Although with the 2IC, it spawns with a C7A2 M203 variant. So the 2IC unit is able to utilize 40mm grenades. Now, moving on to the IC, so the in command. Oh yeah, by the way, 2IC, for those who don't know, means second in command. They're the second in command for a squad, and then you have the IC, which is an in command for the squad, so they're basically the squad leader. But section-wise, Canadian-wise, IC and 2ICs are spawnable. And with the IC, like the 2IC, they have a Browning high power on their chest on the sword, as well as a C7A2 without a 203. So basically a rifleman kit with a high power added on. Now we're looking at the Universal Soldier. So in the spawn list, through the editor in Zeus, you'll see Universal Soldier, which I don't know quite what the difference is compared to the Rifleman, but it basically just looks like a normal Rifleman kit. Spawning with a C7A2, C79 sight, CG634 helmet, fishing vest. I don't believe they spawn with a bag of any sort. No, they don't. So that's just for universal use if you want to spawn them in the middle of a Zeus match or a Milsim operation. That way you don't have to deal with unrealistically spawned goggles in terms of NVGs and whatnot. Now, moving on to the Tactical Air Squadron helicopter pilots. They've got the Woodland variation with the OD green flight suit, as well as the Arid version with the tan flight suit. These units regularly spawn with the C-72, but to show off the more air-det looking side of them, I more or less spawn them with C-8A3s, so I can kind of get a feel more for an air crew. Now, the very well last of the spawnable units would be the Special Operations Forces, or the Special Forces. You can see them as JTF2 or CANSOFCOM, under CANSOFCOM. Now, normally they spawn, at least at the moment, they spawn the same as the regular infantry, so they spawn with the C6 gunner, C9 gunner, combat engineer, crewman, so it's not quite properly done yet. But what they will be doing, they'll be having just special forces units like breacher, assaulter, whatever, that kind of stuff. And right now, what like a basic soft kit would look like would be the C20 standard issue rifle, or will be soon the standard issue rifle with the C2 suppressor on the end, and the TFC optic that comes with the mod, as well as the P226 sidearm. This is the basic multicam uniform that comes with the mod. The vest is actually through CUP, I believe, because the multicam vest is very unfinished right now. However, the helmet is TFC and it is ready to go, as well as the bag, which if I can get a shot of it. This is the Mystery Ranch bag that works with TFC and I believe Acre 2. I think it might just be TFC, or TFC, TFAR, so Task Force Armor Radio. It's got a nice long range on the back. And then this is the non-TFAR variant, so it's just a regular bag. But right here, this guy's rocking the same vest, different Canadian helmet, different fast helmet through TFC, as well as a different uniform. This is basically the tunic, just with multicam. And the rifle he's using is the MRR, or the Modular Rail Rifle, which is slated to replace certain weapons in the CAF. I might be wrong on that, but either way, it's made by Colt Canada and it's in the mod. And that is a vanilla optic, as there isn't really a soft type sight in the mod yet. They might not add a soft type sight, they might just use vanilla optics or optics through RHS, because RHS is a dependency after all. So that is the ground units and their kit. Onto the ground vehicles. And how couldn't we start the ground vehicles off for Canada without at least mentioning the LAV 3? In Afghanistan, it was known by the Taliban as the Green Dragons that shit white men, because they're so versatile on the battlefield and they're so quick to deliver troops and so quick to dispatch the enemy that they got that badass nickname, the Green Dragons that shit white men. I've always loved that. This, however, is not the LAV 3. It is the upgraded LAV 6 IFV. IRL ending game, they address protection with double B hull with energy attenuated seating. So I guess the IRL variant has seating that disperses energy if you get hit by something or an IED or whatever. New suspension as well, which doesn't really apply in game. However, the primary weapon on the LAV 6 is the M242 Bushmaster. So as you can see here, the M242 Bushmaster is a 25mm weapon that uses 25mm rounds and dispatches enemies with AP, HE, 25mm rounds. There might be another one, but I'm pretty sure it's just AP and HE. Has two 4-tube smoke launchers, as you can see here. As of yet, I don't believe they work in game, but I think they're working on that. I might also be wrong on that, but it'd be silly of them not to, because that'd be of great use and would be very realistic. It has a coax 7.62mm machine gun, and in the future, in the mod, as you can see there's a pintle mount. At a point, they did have a C6 mounted up there, but it was very broken, as it would like spin around weirdly and just was broken, so they didn't have it in. Basically right over the commander spot, as you can see there. The ramp opens and closes, and to get into a seat, you actually have to walk into the rear of the vehicle, which is really neat. So as you can see, I'll show off here. You open the ramp and you roll right in, you walk right in, and then you scroll wheel and you hit enter in a seat, and you can get in through the back. That's really cool. The only way to get in is if the ramp opens, so it's very dynamic and realistic in that sense. But the Lav 6 is in game. You've got the base variant with no unit identifier on the side, and it's just black. And then there are different variants, as you can see here. 1-1 Alpha for 1 section. You got 1-1 Bravo for 2 section. And you got 1-1 Charlie for 3 section. It's very realistic, and especially in my Milsim unit, when we're doing mechanized operations, it's a lot easier to tell who's who when you're able to see it on the side. So instead of going on the radio, I'm not going to use real radio calls just to, streamline my explanation. Hey, 1-1 Bravo, is that you beside insert object or insert area? And then they go, no, I'm actually over here because I'm this vehicle, not that one. You're actually able to identify the vehicles using the sides, which they do IRL as well. So it's a very cool touch. Not only do they have a woodland version, but they have an arid version, which is a tan color, as well as a winter version, which is a white color. And now the Bison. So the Bison is an armored personnel carrier that's based on the 8x8 Lav 25 platform. So if you know anything about the Marine Corps, their Lav 25, it's based off of that. It's part of the light armored vehicle family with the Coyote reconnaissance vehicle. If you've seen that, that's basically the Lav 25 Canadian version. As well as the Australian ASLAV, which is basically, again, like a Lav 25. All produced by General Dynamics Line Systems Canada. They've started being replaced by the Lav 3, and soon IRL will be replaced by the Lav 6 combat support vehicle line, so like ambulance, the Lav ambulance, Lav command post, and whatnot, which is also going to be added into the mod. So the Lav 6 variants will be the IFV variant, so the infantry fighting vehicle, as well as command post and ambulance, if not an engineering variant, which they might add. I'm not too sure though, but we'll see. As you can see here, both the command and ambulance versions aren't able to be driven in first person, which is, it's in progress, so they'll add that. Both have a medic seat in the back, which you can see here, which helps a lot, especially with Ace Medical, because they'll be able to see each patient and start to work on them. With the Lav and Bison, you're able to deploy camp behind the vehicle as well, which is a really neat touch, and it helps add that maybe not add that milsim factor, but it helps with milsim. When you're on the go and you want to put a little command post down, you just deploy the camp, you do your briefing or whatever, and then you can basically pack the camp back up and then get back on the move, and it's a really cool touch. With this vehicle here, which is the LSVW, or the Light Support Vehicle Wheeled, they also have a medic seat in the back, and it's basically one of the variants of the LSVW out of the 4. So you can see the medic seat is very similar. Very similar to the Bison ambulance. And if I get out, I can ride him back, and riding him back, it's kind of weird right now, but it makes sense for, realism's sake. You lay down. I think they're going to be updating it where you can only look left and right like this, so you don't see that mess. But what's here in the concept is really freaking cool. Really well done. You got the ambulance variant. And over here you have the command variant, which I believe, actually, I don't believe the back opens. I might be wrong. Oh, you can sit in the back. Okay, so you can sit in the back. I don't know if there's any ace things with radios or like TFAR stuff, but either way, got the whole interior as well, which looks really cool. So that's the command and ambulance variant. They also have a covered transport variant right here, as you can see, with a tarp. Nothing too crazy. It's just like regular troop transport. And then you have the uncovered variant here without the tarp. And right now the boards are kind of floating, but they'll be fixing that in further updates. As well as the textures. With this vehicle, the textures are also being updated. And now, as you can see here, we've got the G-Wagons. These are mainly used for training purposes now, and maybe peacekeeping, as they were used in Afghanistan and were seen to be highly ineffective, as RPGs would take them out. Small arms would take them out easily. There's an image that I'll put up on the screen of one that's at the Ottawa War Museum, or Army Museum, that was obliterated by an ID, and they have different ones in different museums of just G-Wagons that have been totally obliterated. But as you can see here, this is a woodland variant with the C6 up top, with a little pintle turret in the armored area for the gunner to sit. Got a AI up there just to demonstrate what it looks like. We got the OD green variant, which is the standard variant you see on the internet or just in general if you're in the military. The OD green. Then you got the OD green unarmed variant as well. As you can see here, there's woodland, which is more of an older pattern. You got the OD green, you got the arid for arid locations and regions for both versions of the G-Wagon. And now the last of the ground vehicles for TFC at the moment, which is a retextured MBT 52 Kuma. Supposed to be a Leopard 2 A4, which it says in the list. It will be replaced soon by an actual 2A4 or 2A6, which is being worked on, and you can find all the models that are being currently worked on and TFC trials on Steam. However, it's not in the main mod, so that's what this video is about anyways. But yeah, this variant is based on the real world Leopard 2 MBT, and more specifically it's based on the Revolution upgrade package, which I'll insert an image here, made by Ranked Metal Defense. Cannon is a 120mm cannon, coax MG that fires 7.62mm, RWS, which is a remote weapon station up top that you can see there, that fires 12.7mm, aka basically a 50 caliber machine gun, and it's got smoke launchers and all that. Basically what's in the MBT Kuma in vanilla Arma is on this puppy. You've got the version with the side flaps. Got the version without the side flaps on both the top and bottom. And then you have the camo variant with like a woodland pattern that kind of sits on top, helps camo the vehicle in woodland areas. My main aircraft in TFC right now is the Griffin, or more technically known as the Bell CH-146 Griffin. It's a multi-role utility helicopter of the Huey family, so definitely, if you're going, oh, it's a Huey, it's because it's part of the same family. The CH-146 is used in a wide variety of roles, including aerial firepower, as you can see with this one being a cast variant. The Canadian Force actually had 8 modified Griffins stacked as armed escorts for CH-147 Chinooks in Afghanistan. But as you can see over there, those two are cast variants, so close air support. They spawn with rockets and miniguns mounted on the side. However, from what I've seen, you're able to mount 20mm cannons on your side, and those things just rip targets apart. Each Griffin comes with a pod on the side, a camera pod. Really good for lasing targets or just scouting out and doing reconnaissance. And then you have the egress birds, which all have miniguns on each side, as well as seating for transport on the side. People can sit on the side as well as on the inside. Alongside the standard variants with the standard camo pattern, there's also the soft variants. As you can see, the soft variant, or Special Operations Forces, or I guess you could call it CAN-SOFCOM variant, is in Special Forces Blue, is what I like to call it. No weaponry, and is used for transporting and deploying Special Forces into the battle space mainly. So as you can see, there's no miniguns, there's no cast of any sort on it. There's, like I said, there's a camera pod and the seating for transport. And each of the birds say 427 Special Operations Aviation Squadron. As you can see here, we've got the CC-130J Hercules. They come in 2 variants, the troop transport that I'm looking at right here, as well as over here, the cargo version. You can get in on either side of the store. And you can ride in the back with all the, I would assume, paratroopers. You can also level the ramp and open the cargo ramp, which is really cool. You can open all the way or you can close it. Okay, we're now here in the Ace Virtual Arsenal. I'm going to run you through all the different Canadian weapons that come with Task Force Canada and sort by mod just to make it easier. I'm going to start off with the C20. So this is a 7.62 by 51mm rifle. It's a new rifle made by Colt Canada, as you can see there. This would mainly go with this optic if I can find it. the Schmidt and Bender. Yeah, there you go. So I got the Schmidt and Bender sight, the C20. Then we also have a C2 suppressor that goes with it. It's a really cool looking weapon, really packs a punch. Then we have the C6, which is 7.62 as well. It's the first variation of the C6, whereas now Canada's being issued the A1, which has a plastic stock, as you can see there at the rear. As well as rails. That's very important, rails on the side and the top of the weapon. And here we got the C7.8.2, which is a standard service rifle of Canada. It's got the dual mount for slings and ambidextrous fire selector. It's a AR-15 style weapon. It's also got a triad rail mount on the front, so you can mount lasers on the side. You got the C7A2 M203, which has the M203 launcher that fires 40mm grenades, and the C79 optic. Got the C8A3, which is just a shortened C7A2, same system with the triad rail. Got the C8A3 with M203, which is again similar to the C7A2 M203, which is a shortened down version. Got the C9A2, which is very much a M249, but it's made by Colt Canada, different version, you know, different rails and stocks and everything, so it's very much different. You got the Macmillan TAC 50, which is Schmidt and Bender would go with as well, which I believe is the one that holds the record for the longest kill shot in real life, so that's pretty neat. It also comes with the C15 suppressor, which is fucking huge. It's pretty big. We got the Mark 48, which I assume is for Special Forces units. This thing works pretty well as well. I'm going to go through and shoot all the weapons as well, just so you can see them. You got the MRR modular rail rifle carbine black. You can put whatever optic you want on it. Got a painted variant, as well as a tan variant, and then you got the rifle variant, which is a longer version, in black and tan. And then you have the Timberwolf, which is a weirdly camoed sniper, IRL and in game. I mean, it's a nice looking sniper anyways. You got the C14 suppressor that goes on top of it, on top of the barrel, and suppresses the shot. I believe it's 338, yep, it's 338 7.62. Also something I just remembered I gotta show off is the suppressor that goes with the MRR. The Task Force Canada OpSync 556. Suppressor fits inside of the weapon. Each and every one of the variants it fits inside. It's really cool looking suppressor. Goes with those weapons in particular. I think it might go with the it fits on the C7s and C8s. However, I think it's for this mainly. Either way, it works for both, and I think it'll keep it that way. Got the Browning high-powered pistol there, shoots 9mm. Pretty decent pistol in game. IRL is not really reliable, but you know, you got to put it in because that's, you know, the CAF, Canadian Armed Forces. You got the PT-26 here. Again, shoots 9mm. And then you have the version with the rail where you can put lights on the bottom. Pretty cool. Got all the different headgear. So I'm gonna just go through top to bottom. So we've got Canadian Armed Forces by Task Force Canada, which I don't know which cap badge that is. We've got VRI, okay. Got the paratroop. So those are just new berets they've added, looks like. We've got a whole bunch of berets and ball caps. Ball caps still need work in terms of the flags and stuff. And the positioning of the insignias, but they'll fix all that stuff in due time. Got the boonie caps. For the boonie caps, there's a weird shading issue, but they'll fix that. Again, it's being constantly worked on and updated as we speak. Like literally as we speak, like as I'm making this, they're working on it in Discord. Like I said, different boonie caps, ball caps, aircrew TAC helicopter helmet for the side gunners for the Griffins. Got the, well, that loads in weird. We have the Arid helmet, Arid with goggles, Arid with scrimnet. The scrimnet one doesn't work right now. Prototype J with the goggles, Prototype J with scrim, all different scrims. Scrimnet's really cool in this. Again, these ones don't have scrim and they're named differently. And they're going to be cleaning this up as well. They're going to actually organize by berets and ball caps, by helmets and whatever. Like I said, it's a work in progress. The temperate helmets, goggles, scrims. Again, these two don't have scrim nets. Got the UN version. The UN cover, which is really, really well done. The whole like helmet, like the CG 634 helmet system and the mod in general is just really well done in terms of texture and model. This is modeled after a real one. The Seesaw berets, got the fast helmet in brown. Got some more berets, medical branch, military police, ops core multicam, and ops core multicam net. So that's multicam just with netting on it, as you can see there. More berets. Helmet for the pilots. CLI got more berets. I couldn't really show off all the berets or berets. If you want to see them all, you can download the model, link in the description. Got a green toque and a white toque. Got another beret. That's all the helmets. You have the aircrew arid, temperate, and as you can see, they've got the realistic Armed Forces wings there and the thing where you'd have to have your name and or rank. I don't know much about the Air Force. Got the Gen 3 multicam, which is for SOF. It's really well done. Got the OTW arid. As you can see, there's some little shading things, which again will be fixed. Which is why in ops I tend to use the tunic right now. The arid, prototype J. The OTWs have knee pads and different boots. And different gloves. We got the tunic, which has a big shadow thing there, but again, you don't really ever see it because you're usually wearing a vest on top of it. And you can see the textures and overall shading in general is better than, well, other than the middle, but again, you never see that compared to the arms and legs, whatever. The prototype J, different gloves, different uniform. I really like the prototype J. I kind of wish they went with it, but the other one they went for is apparently better, so I'll be interested to see what that looks like. They got the temperate cap out winter, and they have the mixed with the top being temperate woodland and the bottom being winter. And they got the tunic and multicam. Again, we can go back to temperate, go through the vests, and you can find them by the maple leaf insignia on the side. So there's the LBT, which is, this is the one that's not finished. Not finished yet. The concept of it looks really nice. They just have to get the textures and shades down. Oh, I skipped the aircrew. So that's the aircrew vest, arid, and then you get the temperate, which right now they're the same. I think they'll change it though. They might not though. They got the sword SCS version 1, so that has a certain version of pockets, like certain layout, and they have it over top of the arid ballistic vest. They have it over the prototype J vest, and then over the temperate woodland vest. Then you have the sword version 2, again different layout. The arid ballistic vest, prototype J and temperate. You have version 3, which again is a different layout. Again, vest, so it's just different variations. You got version 4, which is a different layout in general. Arid, prototype J, temperate. And then you have the fishing vests or the load-bearing vests over top of the frag vest. So you've got arid, prototype J, and temperate woodland, which is more like base kit. So you got the assault pack, which is just a retextured vanilla backpack. The textures aren't again, a lot of the things textures aren't done. The mod's still being worked on, but for what's done now is really well done. You got the assault pack. You got the carryalls. The carryalls are all retextured. So this is for the 84mm Gustav, so it just has a higher load. Prototype J and temperate. Then you got the carryall and arid, which, as you can see from the 84mm, it's different load capacity. That's for more for like just regular infantry. And then you got the medical arid, has medical insignia. And the same with prototype J and temperate. And they have the base prototype J carryall and the base temperate woodland carryall. And now for the med bag that I referenced earlier. There's the green med bag that you can see fits here. Anyways, that's medical bag. Got a pretty decent load size. It's actually not much more than the regular carry-all, but either way, you get the point, and it stands out. So anyone wearing that, you would know is a medical technician of sorts. You got the tan version, and they have the mystery ranch bag, which again, I don't know what the use is yet. I don't think I've seen anyone use it yet. So there's the tan, OD green, and multicam versions. Then there's the versions with Task Force Arma radio capabilities. Then you have the rucksacks, which are again really well done and are made for certain vests, I think. Yeah, it's a lot more noticeable with the sword vest. Again, all will be reworked and fixed and made to fit everything. Then you have the T4 version of that, the big and radio on the back. And you have the multicam version, and the T4 version doesn't show a radio for some reason. Again, that'll be fixed. Rucksack, prototype J with T-FAR, the radio and handheld on the side, and then temperate rucksack, which is my personal favorite, obviously, because it goes with this outfit. And you even got the winter rucksack. I forgot about that. So you got the winter rucksack, the regular, and the T-FAR, and then even the small pack, which is like 1-to-1 with a real-life calf rucksack, or small pack, I mean. It's like identical to the one I own. You can have the small pack, and then you have the one with the T-FAR, the radio stuff in it. And a prototype J, and temper woodland. This is usually what I load, because it's like a standard kit. So as you can see, actually I don't think it showcased it off that well. You've got the maple leaf that you can kind of see on the side there, as well as in the middle is the R for the revision branding. And there's dark, clear, yellow, and orange. I usually use orange. Those are all the face wears. There you go. Okay, now I'll showcase off the patches because they've got different patches as well for Canadian units, IRL. So you got the 12th Regiment, Régiment Blindé du Canada, 400 Tactical Helicopter Squadron. I'm actually not even going to say, I'll just kind of click through them all. Some Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group, yeah, represent. 8th Canadian Hussars, Black Watch Canada, British Columbia Dragoons. Got a plethora of patches. That's Task Force Canada insignia, and then V2, Toronto Scottish Regiment. So they have a plethora of patches that go with the mod as well. So the MRRs and the C7s and A2s all have the same sound at the moment. Well, everyone, that was the Task Force Canada Mod Showcase. I hope you guys liked what you saw. The mod's constantly being updated and the hard work's being put into it every day. So I hope you guys will be there to see the mod grow further, as I know the team is very passionate about it. If you're interested in the mod, the link for it will be in the description down below. Anyways, later! If you're interested in the mod, the links for it will be down in the description. Fuck! If you're interested in the mod, the links for it will be in the description down below. Fuck. If you're interested in the mod, the links for it will be in this description. Fuck! Why can I say this?